All right, guys, before we jump into today's video, I did want to take a quick second and shout out none other than Fade Me, the merch brand we have here on the channel. If you want to support what we're doing and get some great merch for a great price at the same time, head over to fademe.store. If you're tired of all your buddies when you show up to game day fading your picks, then you sit back and win, rub it in next time with a shirt that says Fade Me on it. Fademe.store. I get so excited every time I see an order. I always tell you guys that. Literally makes my day, makes my week. Head over there, fademe.store. Support what we're doing here. Help us grow and get some great merch at the same time. Go check it out. All right, YouTube, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. We got Thursday night football, week number 7. Took a little while to count that, but week number 7, we got the Saints taking on the Jaguars here. I will say we're recording this a few days earlier than we normally would. At the time of you guys even watching this video, I should be feet up in the DR on vacation, 89 cocktails deep, okay? So we had to grind, had a really busy start to the beginning of the week because we are on vacation. We'll still be making some videos and content from vacation because you guys know I grind for you guys. But nonetheless, just giving you that forewarning that if some lines move or we don't have all the information at the time of recording, there is a reason why. But nonetheless, we do have the Saints -3 as home favorites here for Thursday night. Total sitting at 39.5. I have a spread play that I like. I have a lean on the total, a couple player props that I'm locking in, and then a couple player prop areas that I do want to talk about and explore that we don't have lines on yet. That obviously, you know, if the lines come out, we'll update you guys in the pinned comment. But yeah, tons of content to get to in today's video. I did kind of want to give you the forewarning that some of this talk may be like, if this happens, X will happen type of thing, because we are still waiting on some information to come out. But guys, before we jump into this, go ahead and smash that subscribe button, hit that like button as well. Week 6, that's how we'll sum it up. That sounds good. We ended it so well. We go 5-0 on Sunday, and then we go 4-1 in Monday Night Football. Loved to see that. Hopefully we can carry some momentum into this Thursday night game. But like I said here, Saints -3 at home, total sitting at 39.5. The Saints 3-3 straight up on the year, 1-4-1 against the spread. They're over under here. They've hit 6 unders out of their 6 games. At home, they're 1-1. Jacksonville 4-2 straight up, also 4-2 against the spread. They're 3-3 when it comes to their over-unders hit. And then on the road, they're 1-0 this season. Jacksonville coming off of a stomping of Indianapolis. They win 37-20 last week. And New Orleans, though we cashed the under, they did catch the L by 7 points, losing 20-13 against Houston. So we'll start with a spread pick. A couple things I do want to note first and foremost is the fact that we are waiting on some injury updates for both starting quarterbacks here. Now, I think they're both going to play, but we have a shoulder injury for Derek Carr, and then, Trevor Lawrence had a knee injury that, not scary, it wasn't a bad, I guess you could say it was a bad injury, but the MRIs came back negative. They say that it feels good. He's a little sore right now, but it is a Thursday game, right? Like a quick turnaround from your normal, Sunday to Thursday. So if either of these guys don't play, there could be some chance that we throw some of these picks out the window because, of that. Quarterback's missing, major deal. But keep an eye on the pinned comment for this game especially. We have the Ev going on vacation factor and some injuries to keep an eye on. Keep an eye on the pinned comment. That's where I'll update you guys with all of my true plays, what we're actually going to be rolling with, even after the fact if some information comes out. But let's get into the spread pick here because I do like this. Now, this is going to have a huge caveat and asterisk if Trevor Lawrence plays. But I like Jacksonville plus the 3 points here. You have 2 really good defensive teams. New Orleans, I think their defense seemingly gets talked about more than Jacksonville's here, but Jacksonville overall is a top 10 ranked DVOA team in terms of defense. They're good too, 8th DVOA ranked defense here. New Orleans at 7. So you have 2 teams that, yes, very good defenses. New Orleans, they do have some dogs there, but so does Jacksonville. But Jacksonville, to start the year didn't look all that crazy defensively. They didn't even look good to start the year, right? Especially in that game that, who'd they play again? It was Atlanta, or no, not Atlanta, the game before. Houston dropped 1,000,000 points on them, right? Kind of took the winds out of their sail. But I do still think you have 2 defensive, maybe I'm jumping using this word, but 2 defensive juggernauts going up against one another. So I think it kind of cancels out. Like, I don't think there's that much of a defensive edge when it comes to New Orleans, which I've seen plenty of people online talking about, referring to them as the far better defensive team. Are they a great defensive team? Yes. Are they far better than Jacksonville? I wouldn't go that far, no pun intended. So I do like Jacksonville here plus the 3 points. I think that they've just started to get their offense going. Last 3 weeks now, 2 of these are in London, so if you want to take anything away from them, go ahead. I don't. 23 points, 25 points, and then 37 points against Indianapolis. That is a Jacksonville offense that's starting to kind of chug along, right? Starting to build that momentum and play some good football. 3 wins in a row. You have New Orleans on the other side that you can really only say they had one game in which they looked great offensively, right? Other than that, it's been 20 or less points all season long. That one game was against the Patriots. I'm a Patriots fan. Those guys stink. They stink, you know what I mean? So I'm not really going to put a feather in the Saints' hat here saying, okay, well, they dropped 34 points. They look good offensively. No, there's still some sluggishness and whatnot and meshing, definitely between, I would say, the receivers, Carr, and Alvin Kamara coming back, that this offense doesn't look tremendous. Okay, so I think Jacksonville has that edge when you go offense to defense, looking at it from both sides here. So give me Jacksonville plus the 3 points. Trevor Lawrence, depending if he's not going to go, I'm curious to see where this line goes. Maybe this line is indicating that they don't think he will play or that he's not going to be 100%. But if he plays and if he's close to 100%, I like Jacksonville plus the 3 points because I think the defenses sort of negate each other, and then you're going to get down to, okay, well, who's making more plays offensively? It's Jacksonville right now. It really is. Now, they've had to go up against some decent defenses as well, so I'm giving them credit. I'm giving that offense credit. They're starting to get the wheels rolling. They have all the offensive momentum. So that is probably going to be a finalized play if Trevor Lawrence is a go. But in terms of a total, I wish this wasn't so low at 39.5 because I do believe in both these defenses. I've said it since the beginning that I think New Orleans is a legitimate defense. I think that Jacksonville somehow, some way is slightly underrated as a defense. I think you have two teams here that could make it tough for one another, which is, again, if I think it's going to be a kind of grinded out type game, we've seen primetime games go under all the time. I think that 39.5 still could be a little high. Now, do I have the balls to roll with it? I'm not sure. If this was, 42.5, give me one field goal, I'd be gladly taking that. But that 39.5 seems pretty sharp to me. So I do lean towards the under. I think that these two teams are going to make it tough for one another. And that also kind of rolls right into why I like getting a field goal here with Jacksonville, right? If this is going to be a low scoring game, a close game, a grinded out type game, I'll take the points. And I'll take that under. So keep an eye on the pinned comment to see if we roll with either of those game picks, Jacksonville plus 3 or the under 39.5. I am cooking up some same game parlay looks with those as well. Maybe if we can get Jacksonville up to, plus 9 in the total to under 45.5, that type of thing. Keep an eye on the pinned comment to see if we do end up rolling with anything like that. And I hate to say, keep an eye on the pinned comment a million times, but you got to kind of do that because we do have some information that we are waiting on here. But like I said, I got a couple player props that I do really like that regardless of these injuries, I do think are going to be worth throwing out there. But before we do that, I want to talk to you guys about OddsJam. If you don't know what OddsJam is, a really cool sports betting research platform that has a plethora of tools. We have the positive EV tool right here in front of us. What this does is identifies pretty much gaps and missed price lines in the market. For example, Steelers taking on the Rams, right? Over 44, plus 103 on DraftKings. If you look at it over here, it's actually minus 108 on most sports books. You can see it in other ways too here. Here's Jaguars versus the Saints over 40.5. It's an alternate line there. Again, I like the under, but this is just math that we're talking about. Plus 126 over on FanDuel. Average odds at plus 113, plus 105 on DraftKings, plus 115 over on BetMGM. You can kind of identify the gaps in pricing. If you don't know what positive EV betting is, go ahead and do yourself a service and research it, guys. Look it up. It's one of the most long-term profitable strategies in sports betting. Now, we're talking profit, right? Arbitrage is a great tool that they have. If you don't know what arbitrage betting is, go check that out. I actually have a video pinned to the channel page if you do want to check it out. But this is essentially using multiple sports books, and you can take either side of the bet on these different sports books, aka minus 151 for the over in total goals for this NHL game tonight, right? 5.5 there. Minus 151 over on Caesars. You can take the under 5.5 for plus 155. Say you wanted to put 100 beans on the over there over on Caesars. It does the math and says, okay, well then go ahead on Barstool, take the under and put 65.19 on it, and you'll guarantee yourself a profit of $1.04. It's a really, really cool tool, literally a foolproof way of profiting when it comes to sports betting. So go check out OddsJam, guys. That link is in the pinned comment. You get 7 days free, and if you use the code GUYBOSTON, you will get 25% off your first month. Now let's go ahead and talk some player props here, okay? because like I said, I have a couple that I like. The first one that I'm looking at here, and we're going to jump into Outlier, which is also a great tool if you want to check that out. That link is in the pinned comment, 7 days free. I'm looking at Alontae Taylor over 3.5 tackles plus assists. Now, I don't usually like taking cornerback tackles plus assist numbers because you can literally get iced out of the game, right? Like there's no guarantee that this guy's even going to be involved in the tackles plus assist category, but he has hit this in 5 of the last 6 games here on the season, right? Even the one that he didn't hit, which was last week, he had 3 tackles. And what I like is look at the targets that he's getting as a cornerback: 8, 10, 11, 5, 6, 4, all that plenty enough to pull the trigger here. In terms of odds, you're looking at -135 over on Caesars. DraftKings has it at -140. Similar odds, but obviously you want the best price there. But yeah, I like the trend here. I like the fact that he's getting targeted a lot. It's not like this is an absolute shutdown guy that you wouldn't really want. I'm thinking like Darrelle Revis in his prime, right? Like you would never take a tackles plus assists line for him because he could have 0 targets that entire game, not even be involved. But Alontae Taylor over 3.5 tackles plus assists, first player prop there. Second one, and all of these are going to be on the Saints, which is funny, but again, there are not many lines out for the Jags right now. But Blake Grupe over 1.5 field goals made for +105. I'm coming right down here in Outlier and taking a peek at, okay, well, it's not like the Jacksonville Jaguars are great in the red zone efficiency category, defensively ranking 16th, but the Saints 27th. They're tied for 5th worst in the league in red zone efficiency, and you can see he's been kicking a crazy amount of field goals here. He's attempted enough to cover this line in every single game. Give me Blake Grupe over 1.5 field goals made for +105. You can see you beat the odds there. DraftKings at +105, Caesars at -103. And player prop number 3. Now, this is going to stick as a lean for now, but I like Alvin Kamara over 29.5 receiving yards. This is a good Jacksonville defense. We talked about it. But if you look at them in terms of receptions, receiving yards, they're a bottom 10 team in allowing running backs to catch the ball as well as get their yards. So I like the spot for them. You can see here Jacksonville ranking there. When you look at yards overall, they're all the way at the top. We sort this low to high. They're the 4th best team at preventing the run. But when it comes to being targeted or allowing receptions, they are in the I guess the bottom tier of the team. So teams have been able to kind of pick them apart with the running back. Alvin Kamara, we know, is a very good receiving back here in terms of targets. He had 1 game in which we didn't really love what we saw there. 3 receptions against New England, but they didn't really need to pass the ball, or New England wasn't making it tough for them. But 14 targets there for 13 receptions, 8 for 7 last week as well. Give me Alvin Kamara over 29.5 receiving yards. I want to see what his receptions line comes out at. If it's 2.5, definitely. 3.5, I'd also consider that as well. If it gets up to 4.5, 5.5, maybe not. But you could see just Jacksonville overall, if you're going to beat them, it's going to be in the pass game, especially when it comes to the running back pass game. So those are the plays that we have as of right now. In terms of where I rank them in final plays, those first 2 player props, Taylor and Grupe, those are, you consider those locked in. Don't expect anything to change in the pinned comment. Alvin Kamara, pretty damn near locked in. I just have to decide if I like receiving yards or receptions. In terms of the spread and total pick, I do want to, suss out some of these injuries just to be able to see what we have going on there. And again, I can pull up Outlier because it gives you the latest injury updates as well. Here we go. Trevor Lawrence, questionable, obviously, with that left knee. Derek Carr, questionable, the right shoulder. We also have Chris Olave as another one to note there. Cameron Jordan. All these guys are questionable. We don't know if they're going to play or not just yet. But guys, that is going to wrap it up for today's video. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that like button. Go pick up some Fade Me merch. Tons of new stuff on the store as well. Don't be a guppy. Go check out the Guppy collection as well. And yeah, hopefully at the time you're watching this, I'm not even coherent because I am due for a vacation. It's not even going to be a full vacation because we're still going to be making daily videos, but that's, I love doing that. But very, very excited to head down to some nice weather, maybe get a tan, aka sunburn, and just chill out and enjoy some time out of the States and just relax. So overdue vacation for your boy here, but the videos won't stop. We're going to either get ahead of it or make videos while we're there with a makeshift setup. But yeah, guys, thanks so much for tuning in. You guys have been absolutely awesome and supportive as of late. Even when we haven't had the best of weeks, you guys are still there. You're riding, or you're fading me, and I'm making you money either way. But we'll catch you guys in the next video. All right, peace out.